very good evening to all. I am glad to invite our esteemed guests and participants to the inauguration of 6 days online faculty development program on innovative medical healthcare using AR/VR. I am Mrs. Satya Sudha, Assistant Professor, Computer Science and Engineering Department, Jnanamani College of Technology. I am one of the coordinator and it's truly an honor to welcome you all. And about our Jnanamani College of Technology, Jnanamani College of Technology was established in the year 2006, and this group comprises of Jnanamani College of Education, Jnanamani College of Integrated Education, Jnanodaya CBSE International School. The college is affiliated to Anna University and got autonomous status and approved by AICTE. Our institution is accredited by NBA and NAC A grade, and it has 12 UG courses and 10 PG courses, and 4 of our department got R&D centers. Our institution have emerged as a pioneer venture in the field of technical education. And I welcome our principal, Dr. T.K. Kannan sir, and our dean, School of Computing Sciences, Dr. Selvarajan sir, and our convener and head of the department, Dr. Uma Mageshwari ma'am. And I welcome all the faculty members from various institutions, and also I welcome the chief guest of the day, Mr. Vijayarajan sir, and I welcome all of you for this knowledge forum. And about our chief guest, Dr. Mr. Vijayarajan sir, he is the producer and Subversive Chennai, and he is having 16 years of experience, and he is developing visual and augmented reality applications for the clients using Unity, 3JS, A-Frame, and C Sharp. And also, he is training the students on developing visual and augmented reality applications. And he has conducted technical sessions over 75 colleges around Tamil Nadu. And he has over 15 years of experience in handling front end development using HTML, CSS, jQuery, user interface designing, information architecture, and mobile UI development. And he also worked in USA and Qatar for 4 years. And now he is training Silamam to the student. And now we are having such a knowledgeable person with us. And I welcome you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. And the session is over to you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much for the warm introduction. Hope I am audible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, madam. Uh, First of all, I would like to thank the management for giving me this opportunity to talk in front of this knowledgeable group. Uh, Today's session will be about, as the title suggests, introduction about what metaverse is. On tomorrow's session, we'll see more about how it can be applied to healthcare and how to create simple web augmented reality and virtual reality applications as well. And if there is any question, so please feel free to ask questions. I'll be happy to answer them. So without further delay, let me share my screen and start the presentation. So I'll go through the presentation. I'll also have some videos and also do some demos on it. And if there is any questions, we can discuss that as well. So with that, let me start sharing the screen. Yeah, hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, madam. So we are going to discuss how metaverse has evolved, how it has transitioned from the current Web 2.0 to the three-dimensional space which we are going forward. So that's what my focus of this presentation will be. First, we'll see what's the state of web development, what is web accessibility. Then we will come to metaverse, different types of realities such as augment, virtual, mixed realities, and what are the challenges in it, and how to develop some solution using some of the open source and subscription based tools. So first, on the web development, which we all know, which the current state of web which we are currently using, that's a two-dimensional one where we are able to see the information, get the information, and we are also able to interact with it via comments or via audio. We are able to interact. We can see videos, and also, but it is still limited to two dimensionals. We are able to only see the text, see the video, see the images, but all in the two-dimensional environment. So that's why we are moving towards a three-dimensional space or immersive environment, which is the focus point of Web 3.0 or the metaverse. So what are the three pillars of a website? So any websites which we all know has some these three pillars. One is usability, compatibility, and accessibility. Usability is how user friendly the website or application is. For example, if a visitor comes to a site, he should be able to get the information he is seeking within few seconds. Otherwise, he will lose uh, the group or the company will lose the user to its competitor. So that's how much competitive the web space is. So that's why usability plays a critical role. So whenever before we develop an website or application, we do this usability study, user research study, and a competitor analysis study. So for example, if we are going to develop a website for a bank, first we'll do the what are the competitors are offering in their website or application, and what are the pitfalls in it and how we can avoid it, and also if there is anything good they have adopted, how we can add that to our website or the applications. And different types of user groups. So if there are any website or application will have different user groups. Take for example any e-commerce site. So any e-commerce sites will have different user groups from 18 to 25, or people who are working and people who are retired, and based on gender. So these types of different user groups also we'll study. The user group study will come up with the persona, scenarios, task flow, and then we'll come up with the information architecture or the blueprint for the website or an application. After that only we come to the designing part. So before we design, this much work is involved, which will determine how successful the website or application is. So that's why usability is of paramount importance. In all the companies there is a separate team for usability, which focus on bringing better user experience to the customers or the users. So right from websites to now to developing virtual reality or augmented reality applications, usability or the user experience is the first step. Then before we get into designing and development. So that's one of the main pillars for website or any digital development. Then comes the compatibility. Compatibility is how far the application or website is compatible on all the browsers. If you take browsers, for example, we have Chrome, Firefox, Opera, Safari, and so on. So there are many browsers. So all these browsers, our application should be accessible without any issues. Same way, I need to be I should be able to access via big screens like a laptop to a small screen like a handheld device like a smartphone. Now all these devices and browsers, our site or application should be compatible or accessible. That's what is compatibility is all about. And more, if you take websites which we developed 15 or 20 years back, we would have developed the websites or applications only focused on larger screens or laptops. Nowadays most of the users are using mobile to access the information. So mobile first is the shift we are going towards. So we should make sure our application is mobile friendly, as well as for on larger screens also it is compatible to the users. Third comes the accessibility. So accessibility is all about uh, persons, irrespective of their abilities, should be able to access the information online or digitally, like the person who is fit enough to access. So there should be no barriers between the person who is able and the person who is not able. So bridging this divide is what accessibility is all about. So providing web accessible product is of importance. So nowadays most of the websites or application we develop, or web accessible ones. So there are certain guidelines we should follow to make the websites accessible. Only then that website or applications will come online. So these are the three main pillars. So usability as at the forefront. Before we design or develop, we do the user research study. Based on that study, we design and develop. So after we develop, before it goes online, we should make sure the site or application is compatible enough in all the browsers, all the form factors from handheld device to the larger screen monitors. And finally comes the web accessibility part to make sure irrespective of the people's if they even if they are differently able person, they should be able to access the web like the abled person. So there are all set of parameters to follow. Once that is done, then only we'll be making the site or application live. So there are many accessibility guidelines are there. There are many accessibility guidelines are there. So if we are developing for a US based website or application, section 508 guidelines are there. If we are developing it for a Europe based website, European accessibility guidelines. So and for general WCAG, web content accessibility guidelines, there's a general guidelines for applications or websites which is accessible across the globe. This web accessibility web content accessibility guidelines we follow to make the website accessible enough for the users. So what is WCAG and ARIA? So WCAG stands for Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. So these guidelines are three levels of guidelines are there. One is A, which is the bare minimum level which we want to apply to the application of the website. Second is AA, mid range, and AAA, highest. So any of these three levels, at least our website or application should fall under any of these three levels so that the website is accessible to the users. And what is ARIA or ARIA? That is accessible rich internet application. So whatever applications is goes into the website, let that be a 2D website or a 3D website or a metaverse applications like a virtual or augmented reality application, that should be accessible rich. So that's what accessible rich internet applications. So there are again set of guidelines which we can add to make the website accessible. So what are some of the tools to check for to make sure if the site is accessible or not? Take for example, we would have developed any websites, some simple website using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, a bare minimum without any backend or programming involved, just with the front end programming like HTML, CSS, JavaScript. We would have developed some static website. Even to check that static website is accessible or not, there are many web accessibility testing tools. So where we can add the page or add the URL where the site is hosted, it will give us the list whether the site is accessible or not. If it is not accessible, it will tell which are the areas it is not accessible. Based on that, we can make the corrections to the site. So that is one part of the testing tool for web accessibility to test the site whether it is accessible or not. Second part is screen readers. Screen readers are used for people who are blind or who have low vision, who are not able to see what is there on the screen. They use screen readers to understand what's there on the web. For example, if they run the website using a screen reader, it will read everything right from the header to the navigation, banner area, content area to the footer. It will read each page, each link or each word it will read, so that they are able to understand what the website is about. Even though they are not able to visualize, by hearing they are able to understand it. So that's why we test it using screen readers as well. So we use web accessibility tools to check the website is accessible or not, and we are also following the WCAG, web content accessibility guidelines, and add some of the guidelines to make sure the pages and the site is accessible. And finally, we test that using a screen reader so that it is accessible to a persons, users who are visually impaired or who are not able to see what is there on the screen. And some of the tools are Wave, Axe, Chromeworks, NVIDIA, JAWS, VoiceOver, Web Anywhere. Though there are multitude of tools, these are some of the popular tools used in the market to make the website or application accessible enough. And some of the best practices to make the sites accessible. So what are the things we should do? So one is text resize options we should add. So for example, if you see this website on the top right, they have added a minus a plus, which means if a plus means it will make the font size bigger, a minus means it will make the font size smaller, which gives an option for the users to increase or decrease the text size. This is one of the good practice. And heading structure to follow, and each structure should have a following defined structure. For example, this should be defined as a logo area, and this is the main navigation. If there are secondary navigation, we should have the secondary navigation, and this one is the banner area, and next to the banner is the main content, primary content. Next to the content area is the secondary content. So above the fold, this is called the above the fold design. So above the fold design is where the most prominent data or the prominent information we want to give to the users. As soon as they enter the site, they see this information. So that is above the fold. So what are the things we are going to add on above the fold, or without scrolling, what are the things the users can see in the site? So that's what above the fold, what are the things we are going to do. So primary information, so what are the things we want the user to focus on? So those things alone will give in the above the fold. So secondary information will come in the below the fold. So once they scroll, what are the other important, first important information and the second important information? So this ways we have to segregate the information. And the thirdly, color contrast. So this 4 is to 5 is to 1 is the color contrast ratio between the background color and the foreground color. So for example, if the background color is dark, you should have a lighter foreground color, or vice versa. If both are dark, if both the background and foreground is dark, or if both the background and foreground is light, it will not have the color contrast. Even if the normal vision people will not be able to differentiate what is there in the text or what the content is there. So we should follow the correct color contrast ratio. And next, alternate text. All text is alternate text for the images. For example, this is the banner image. Now we all are able to see what this banner image is about. It's talking about the independence 77th Independence Day celebration. So that's what this image is about. So any normal person can see that. What if the people who are not able in the image, we will add all text as some key information, such as this image talks about 77th Independence Day celebration. This image talks about how India has gotten forward from 1947 to till date. So when the site is read by a screen reader, this alternate text will be read when this image is highlighted, so that the people who are not able to see, they'll able to hear this information and understand this image, or this banner image talks about the 77th Independence Day, or how India has gotten it so far from 1947. So for each image, we should provide alternate text. So that's why alternate text is most important web accessibility feature. And giving ARIA roles. ARIA roles is giving banner a name, and navigation main nav, banner and main primary content. So each one should have a role. So that's what ARIA role, and add skip to main content. So by adding keyboard accessible features, like when we are accessing through keyboard, it has to be accessible enough. So most people, some of the people might not use mouse, they might have the keyboard alone to use. So even if it, the site should be accessible via keyboard as well. So these are some of the best practices. This not only applies to the current state of web which we are consuming or which we are developing, it also applies to the metaverse, and as well as the, excuse me, as well as the augment or virtual reality applications we develop. So let me know if there is any questions. So, and now let's move forward to the important topic of today's session. What is metaverse? So what is seen so far is what's the current state of the web, how website is accessed, what are the three pillars of a website, and why web accessibility is more important. Now we will see what is metaverse. So metaverse, you all know, Since most of us are talking about this or developing some of the applications using metaverse, metaverse is a umbrella term for defining all virtual, augment, mixed, and extended realities. So all computer generated 3D versions or immersive versions where we feel like as if we are inside that teleported to the 3D environment is defined as metaverse. So how metaverse works? So we have just like websites have three pillars: usability, compatibility, accessibility. Metaverse, though it's an umbrella term, main pillars of website are, of metaverse are virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality. I know you all would know these terms now, but I'll just quickly explain these three terms and move on to the next slide. First is virtual reality. Virtual reality is once you wear a head mounted device, once you wear that device and see the application, you feel like as if you are inside that particular environment or teleported to that environment. So that is the USB of a virtual reality. So that's what is virtual reality. To experience virtual reality application, we always need a handheld device. So some of the popular handheld devices are Oculus Quest 2 and 3, HTC Vive, and so on. So even Apple have introduced a device, but since it is more costlier and people are not willing to buy, they are not moving forward with the Apple handheld device. Rather they are focusing on augmented reality glasses. So this is what is virtual reality. Virtual reality is where you can see a 3D three-dimensional environment using a handheld using a device, virtual reality device. Second one is augmented reality. Augmented reality, we don't need external device to wear on our head to see. That can be experienced via mobile phone or a tablet, or in all these things. Even with the laptop also you can view the augmented reality experience, where the real world objects are enhanced using the 3D version or three dimensional or any digital element or computer generated 3D object is enhanced on top of the real world, is what augmented reality is. Augmented reality has more scope than virtual reality. Reason being, for virtual reality, we always need a head mounted device to view the experience, which is not feasible for everyone to always wear the device and view it. Even if we have the option to own a device and view it, you can't use the head mounted device for a longer period of time. Say maximum for 30 minutes you can use. More than that, you will feel dizziness or you'll not be able to view that experience for a more time. And moreover, virtual reality is mostly used for training only. So to train the employees on how to operate a machinery or to do a virtual surgery, and all these things virtual reality is used. Whereas augmented reality, it can be used on any applications for any industries. Augmented reality can be used. Reason being, it can be accessed easily via mobile phone. And third is mixed reality. Mixed reality is combination of both real and virtual realities, where it feels like both physical and the virtual world coexist and interacting in real time. Mixed reality is just an extension of augmented reality, where you'll place both the virtual world and the physical world in contact. So that's what is mixed reality. We'll see some examples also after I finish this presentation. We have seen what is metaverse and what are the types of realities. Now we'll see what are the challenges. So before we get into developing applications or web-based augmented reality or virtual reality solution, we should be aware of the challenges too. Though metaverse has many benefits, it has many challenges as well. One of the main challenges, commodification of human interactions. Even now, with the current state of web, every action, for example, how much time we are viewing a website, or which page we are viewing, or what are the links we are clicking, everything is we are users, the companies are able to track. Based on that, they are getting many information about us, and based on that they are providing ads, and based on that we are getting products as well. But when coming into metaverse, that will be, that surveillance will be more. So even every single action will be tracked to maximize the profits for the companies who employs metaverse. So that is what commodification of human interactions. Each and every single action can be commodified. Take for example, since it is a three-dimensional environment, we all can be in a 3D avatars of ourselves instead of having a 2D picture where we interact in our social media like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. In metaverse, we can have a 3D version of ourselves. Even the minute facial expressions can be tracked. Based on that, they'll be able to get more data out of it. For example, in the 3D version of ourselves, whether we are enjoying that information or what is displayed or not, based on our facial expressions, they'll be able to track. And how much time we have spent on virtually, how much time we are spending with other 3D avatars, everything can be tracked. So that is one of the major challenges in metaverse. Secondly comes the 3D avatars. So just like how we have this current state of web where we have social media platforms where users can upset if they are not getting likes or comments just f- just for their photos and videos. In metaverse we can have a own 3D version of ourselves, how we look in real life. Same way we can project ourselves in 3D avatar. So there will be more show off in the 3D space, which will mask the real person. So I may look like a normal person in the real world, but I can project like someone else in the immersive or the metaverse world. But the person who is interacting with me might not know the real me. So that is one of the danger, like it masks the real person. So you never know what the real person is without meeting him or without interacting with him, if you are interacting with them via 3D avatars. So that is one another challenge. And finally, cyber security laws. Still there are not more such laws to protect against this data breaches of commodification of human interaction or cyberbullying. All these things, there has to be more cybersecurity laws in place when we are moving from Web 2.0 to Web 3.0 immersive space. So these are some of the challenges. Though there are other challenges, these are some of the unique challenges we might face in the near future. And in what are the industries it can be used? In every industry, smaller or bigger, metaverse has a role, right from education and our main topic of healthcare, manufacturing, gaming, entertainment, and defense. So nowadays, metaverse is used mostly on manufacturing and then on healthcare. So first, of course, gaming. So it all started with gaming. Then for manufacturing, so in manufacturing setup, how to train the employees to assemble a product or to assemble a machinery or to know about as procedure. All these things in manufacturing it is widely used. So even we develop most of the applications, virtual reality applications for manufacturing sectors only. And for healthcare as well, for virtual surgery or for virtual training, both virtual reality and augmented reality applications are used. And also on other uh, sectors like education, entertainment, and defense as well. And defense also nowadays, virtual reality simulation, so to simulate a war-like environment, so they're using virtual reality devices so that soldiers can learn how a war-like environment will look like, and based on that how they are reacting to it. In these scenarios, in defense sector, metaverse can be used. And what are the technologies we need if we want to delve deep into metaverse or develop applications in metaverse? One is augmented reality and virtual reality, which will serve as the front end. How for websites, the front end HTML pages serve as the first screen to view the information. Same way, augmented reality and virtual reality is the front end for the metaverse. So behind the screen, we need IoT to collect the data, to collect real-time data, and of course AI to process the huge data into meaningful insights or to meaningful outcome. We need AI. and most importantly, we need cloud computing. So since this metaverse is a completely 3D immersive environment, it takes up more space than a conventional website. For example, you can develop a website as simple as within few MBs of data. Even if you consider all your HTML, CSS, JavaScript, images, videos, everything, you host it into some online platform. All these things will have only few MBs of data, whereas even a small metaverse application will have hundreds of MBs of data. Since it's everything is three dimensional, 3D data. See, for example, this image, this 3D character, even to develop this 3D character would take at least 20 or 30 MB of data, considering all these features. So to get the depth of the texture, coloring, and the 3D version of the model, all these things will take up more data. Even a simple application. Consider developing a complex application for a healthcare or manufacturing for any other sector. It will take hundreds of or even GBs of data. Those things we need cloud computing to store it, and also higher speed to access it. So if even if you are able to store it in cloud, we should have the internet speed with low latency to access it flawlessly or without any issues. So these are some of the things which we need or we should keep in mind when developing for metaverse. Any questions so far? Please let me know. Okay, let me continue. So we have seen what is metaverse and how it can be used in many industries. What if I want to develop a metaverse application? I want to develop a simple application. What are the things I should know? Again, I'll go back to the website example. So for website, what are the things we would note? Can anyone answer? Uh, a simple question. So I want, if you are going to develop a website, what are the things you would do? Anyone? Before I proceed. So you're going to develop a website. So what are the things you need to develop a website, or what are the tools you need? Okay, content management. Yeah, content is one part. What else? WordPress. Yes, WordPress. You can easily develop a website. Yeah. Yes, there's a question. Yeah.
A server to host a website.
Sorry.
A server.
Yeah, server to host website. Yes. Yeah, that's right, madam. Uh, those components are after you develop a website. So what are things you need to design or
HTML,
build a website? Yeah, HTML is one.
HTML, sir.
Yes, madam. Yeah.
HTML we need, sir.
Yeah, HTML we need, and someone else.
PHP, sir.
Yes, madam. PHP. Yeah.
CGI, sir.
Yes. Yes,
Common
madam.
gateway interface to
Hmm.
connect the browser as well as server.
Hmm.
Nowadays, we are connecting via script servlets.
Okay. Okay.
Servlets also we can need, sir.
Okay, madam.
Front end we can browser we need, sir. Back end we need a server.
Got it. Got it. Thanks. Thanks,
Yes.
madam. Yeah. And someone answered JavaScript, scripting, CSS. Yes. Yeah. All these things are, yeah, these are all part and parcel of developing a website. Once, wa- before we get into all these things, we need to design a website. So for designing a website, we would require any 2D designing tools like Photoshop or any other designing tools to design the interface. So designing the interface comes after the user research and the information architecture. So after that, you design the website, and after designing comes the development. HTML, CSS, JavaScript will be the front end, and the server part will be the back end. Once after all these things, we'll be hosting that online. This is how a simple website can be built. Front end designing tools and database server for connectivity. Yeah, thanks, madam. That's right. So these are the things for designing and developing a website. Same logic applies for developing and designing for metaverse as well. So, Dr. Piyush Singh, a website should import 3D models and show it on web browser. Yeah, so that is for three-dimensional websites. Yeah, that's right. Just like how we develop a website, same approach we can follow for metaverse application, whether that is a metaverse application or a web-based augmented or virtual reality applications as well. For designing for websites, how you would design using a 2D tool like a Photoshop or anything. In metaverse, we'll use three-dimensional tools, 3D tools like Blender, 3ds Max, Maya, and there are many zebras for character modeling. All these tools are for designing. So for example, you are want to design a classroom. We'll take an example of a classroom you are going to design in metaverse. Before we design for designing metaverse, we need to create the architecture or the 3D version of the classroom. For designing the 3D version of the classroom, we can use these tools like Blender, 3ds Max, and so on. Blender is an open source tool, and most of the metaverse based 3D projects we use Blender since it is open source and there is a lot of forums and support available. With Blender, we can easily create this 3D models and 3D structure. After we design that, comes to the development. So we had you have designed the classroom, and what are the things you want to do in the classroom? For you want to give virtual training or some other use cases you want to add. Those things to develop that we have development tools. How we have HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and other server-based things. Same way for a metaverse thing, we have Unity, Unreal Engine. Unity and Unreal are creating application-based 3D interfaces. And if you want to go for web-based augmented reality and virtual reality, you can go for 8th Wall, Zap AR, 3JS, React 3 Fiber, Babylon JS, A-Frame JS, and all these all JavaScript open source frameworks and subscription based frameworks like 8th Wall and Zap AR. With this, we can develop the metaverse based applications. And there is one other thing which is gaining in popularity. If you'd have seen this market or growth of this metaverse industry, first, more virtual reality devices came into the market, more head mounted devices like Oculus, HTC Vive, Apple Vision Pro, and Lenovo's VR gadgets. All these things were more popular to experience something in depth. But since virtual reality devices have limited scope, so since we always need a head mounted devices to view it, now the industry is shifting its focus towards from virtual reality to smart glasses or augmented reality glasses. Why augmented reality glasses are? At least most of us, or not most of us, at least one third of the people will be wearing some sort of glasses, a reading glass or an eyewear they would be wearing. So it has most since most of us are wearing this glass. What if we turn that glass into a smart glass or an augmented reality glass? That way, more people are already using it. Since we are adding augmented reality or some virtual thing to the glass, there could be more business out of it. So that's why most of the companies are shifting towards virtual reality to smart glasses. Even Facebook, which have developed Oculus glasses, now they are moving towards Meta smart glasses. Apple Vision Pro, which they have developed a few months back, uh, a huge virtual reality headset. Now they have stopped producing that, and they are also focusing towards smart glasses. Google is also developing Google Glass, and even our Indian company Geo is also developing its Geo mixed reality glass. So there's going to be more uh, opportunities available in this area rather than virtual reality on smart glasses and augmented reality glasses. And it can be used in most any industry, right from manufacturing to even to retail, to in all the industries it can be easily used. So in manufacturing we can get some notification inside our glass itself. So some useful informations we can get, just like how text information or messages we get on our smartphones. Same thing can be done in our smart glass or augmented reality glass itself. So that's why many company, all the companies are focusing their towards smart glasses. Yeah, let me. So before I go to the next part of the presentation, let me run some videos. Just give me a moment. Let me open some videos. Just give me a minute. It's opening. Okay, let me share the video. Yeah, I started sharing my screen. Is the video visible? Okay, yeah, I'll play this video. So please watch this video, and then we'll discuss about what the user has learned from this virtual reality experience. Yeah, I paused the video. Can anyone explain what this video is about, or what the user who is getting trained uh, is understand about this? Yeah, teleportation. Yeah, that's fine. Can someone explain in detail?
Sir, can I say
Yes, sir.
something?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Actually, sir, it's a kind of simulator, I think,
Mm-hmm.
where some people has to wear the PP kit, personal protective kit, and they are choosing the right jacket, which jacket they have to get into, and after that, they are operating the vehicle, some vehicle, forklift vehicle operator, and then how they are operating this vehicle
Mm-hmm.
and where they are going and how they are operating those just like a steering wheel and handbrake, how they are getting used to of that, just like a simulator.
Yes, sir. Well said, sir. That's right. It's a simulator only. So whatever on the top left, if you see, he's wearing a head-mounted device and he's
Yeah,
having two controllers on his hand. He is getting trained on how to operate a forklift virtually. So before
yeah,
he is given a real-time task, he is getting trained virtually. Benefit of doing this is he can make a number of mistakes. That's not going to hurt anyone until he gets fully trained virtually. Then he can get into real-time tasks. So benefit is he can get trained many times, and the other benefit is you can develop this solution once, and many people can train. You don't need an external trainer to validate this, since you can also do time bound, since he is doing the training. And what we actually do is, while doing the simulation training, we do training one part and we do evaluation as another part. They do the training first, and the evaluation, there will not be any screens to assist them. They have to do it on their own within the stipulated time. So with that, we'll be able to judge how far they understood the training. Based on this, companies can assess and determine whether they can be given a real time job or not. So these things, it is very much useful for companies to train the employees. But of course, you need a head mounted device to experience it immersively. As you have seen this environment, so this looks like a warehouse setup. So to design this warehouse, we need a softwares like Blender or any other 3D designing tool to design this complete warehouse setup. So what we usually do is, before we do this type of any simulation, virtual reality simulation project, we go to that site and take videos and pictures of how that site actually looks, and based on that reference we design the 3D version of it. So this 3D environment is the first and paramount one than developing. Development we can easily do. There are a lot of tools available. Even with this generative AI tools, you can easily code if you know basics of coding. With that, with the help of AI tools, we can develop the coding. But to create this environment look like the physical environment, that's where we need a 3D designers or the 3D designing tools. So with the tools like Blender and other 3D design tools, we mimic the physical or the real world. So that's the challenging part in any virtual simulation project. After we design that, then we do this use cases. So if, in this example, use cases are, first he should wear the PPE kit, he should wear. So that is one of the use case. Then after he wears that, then he should get into the forklift. So after getting into forklift, he should take the things using the forklift from one place and deliver it in another place, and he should complete that within the stipulated time. So these different use cases are there. These use cases we develop using tools like Unity and Real or and other tools. So this simulation will be developed with tools like Unity. So after we design the environment, we deploy that environment in the tool, and we do this use cases development using Unity. So this is how we build the project. After the project is built, just like how we install a mobile application on our mobile, Same way, we install this virtual reality application to the head mounted device itself. Just like how our phones have capacity to wherein we can install applications. Same way, these devices also comes with 256 GB or 512 GB space, and within that we just install that application, and after once a year we can easily access the application using the controllers. So with nowadays we don't even need the controllers. With the Oculus example, Oculus Quest 2 and 3, it comes without the controllers, so we can within our fingers we'll be able to operate it. So it comes with the sensors. Once you wear the headset, it has four sensors, and with those four sensors are able to detect your finger movements. So with the fingers you are able to move around. We don't even need a controller. So in this way, this virtual reality simulations can be used for training and to train the employees. So let me see if I have some more videos. Just give me a minute, it is loading. Just give me a minute, it is taking some time to load. Okay, let me share one more video. Yeah, I'll stop here. Yeah, can anyone explain what this video is about? Anyone?
So it's a kind of virtual meeting where people are collaborating themselves and they are planning some architectural things and some kind of constructions have to do, and they
Yes.
are taking some scenarios of the terrain and
Yep.
what they are going to have to plan and what things they have to note down. They are
Yes.
doing some kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes, that's right, sir. Thank you. Thanks for answering it, sir. As you said, it's a virtual meeting they are in, wherein people from different places are connected virtually, and both their 3D version is also shown, and as well as people who don't have 3D version, we have the 2D version also have been displayed there here. Advantages is, rather than 2D version, since they are having a own 3D avatar of themselves, it the meeting is more interactive, like we have it on a physical world or in a real world setup. This way it can be more collaborative than a conventional two-dimensional meeting. So these things are also possible virtually. And let me check for some more videos. So that's about virtual reality videos. Let me see for augment reality ones. Yeah, just give me a minute. Let's loading. Okay, let me share it. Yeah, I'll stop here. So this is an example of mixed reality where both virtual objects are there and the physical world is looks like it's interacting. So this is just an extension of adding augment reality to the real world and merging that into a single video element. So this way, when you see the video, it looks like the real world is interacting with the virtual world. But in reality, both are two different things, virtual world and the real world. We just capture them into a single video. And once you see that in a single video, it looks like both virtual world and the physical world is interacting in the same environment. So this is one example of mixed reality. Let me quickly look for any other videos I have. Just give me a moment. Just give me a minute. The video is getting loaded. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, please type that. I can answer them. Okay, let me share it. I'll stop here. So this is an example of how augmented reality glasses will look like. Even the trend has already started. Even Amazon has introduced their augmented reality smart glass with some features which are available only on smartphones is being available on smart glass as well. As you saw in this video, you can answer the call, you can take pictures, you can get messages, you can use it for moving around for navigation. All those things what are possible in a smartphone is being made possible in a smart glass or augmented reality glasses as well. So this is where the industry is pivoting towards more smart glass environment for the user. So since looks like a normal reading glass, most of the people can wear it, and just like how we are addicted to smartphone, same way in the near future we'll be wearing this augmented reality glass as well, which might not look like a augmented reality glass in reality. In first time when you see it looks like a normal glass, but in reality it might be a normal not a normal one, smart glass as well. Yeah, there's a question from Shivani. Let me read the question. So before I get into the presentation, how AR is different from VR? Is AR part of VR? Yeah, AR is different. AR and VR are both different. So main difference between VR and AR is virtual reality gives an immersive experience. Once you wear a head-mounted device or a virtual reality device and view that application, you feel like you are inside that 3D environment, but you are not aware of what is going around you in the real world. So this is what virtual reality is. You are immersed yourself into the 3D environment, but since you are wearing a head mounted device, you are not aware of what is happening around you in the real world. This is virtual reality. Augmented reality is you can even experience it in your smartphone itself. In a real world, on top of your real world, we display some objects. So one simple example is Pokemon Go is one of the augmented reality game, and even virtual try-on features like lenscart and other companies have introduced uh, where we can wear a virtual glass or a virtual earring. In a face we can add all these virtual objects. So that is with the augmented reality with the smartphones, the real world which is our face, on top of that we are able to display this digital element. So this is what is augmented reality, and we can do that for any other application. We can have an image, and once you scan that image we can show the 3D version of that image. So all these things are augmented reality. Augmented reality is different from virtual reality. What are the things possible in smartphones we can do in augmented reality in our smartphones, and the shift is moving towards showing augmented reality in smart glasses or augmented reality glasses. So that is where the is the difference between virtual reality and augmented reality. As of now, whatever we are experiencing in augmented reality is smartphone based, or then the tablet or mobile phones. We are able to experience the augmented reality feature. In the near future, we'll be experiencing this augmented reality features in our smart glass itself. Yeah. Let me go back to the presentation. Okay, thank you. Let me quickly share the few more slides. Yeah. Yeah, we have seen metaverse, virtual augmented mixed reality, and some videos of how these things work. What there's another dimensions to metaverse. This virtual augment and mixed realities are the front end part. So to view it. So back end we have NFTs or non-fungible tokens, which are digital assets. For example, one quick example is in Amazon or any other e-commerce website, I'm purchasing this shirt. So this shirt I'm purchasing it online. This shirt is delivered to me, and I'm wearing this shirt. So this is in real world. What if I want this 3D version of the shirt as well, and I have a 3D version of myself, 3D avatar, and I want this pattern, this textured colored shirt to be used in my 3D avatar. Then we can create that as a digital asset. physical asset, that's a normal process. And if I want a digital version of that, I can own that via NFTs. So digital owning the digital assets, not only any example. For example, you are buying a shoe. That same physical shoe, if you want a digital version, that digital version of the shoe you can own it via NFT or a non-fungible token. So this can be used as an authentic way to own it. Any digital assets like digital arts, collectibles, or virtual real estate, all these things, NFTs can be used. So what are the leading networks or blockchain networks for NFT? So Ethereum, Polygon, Solana are some of the tools where you can use this thing. For example, how we have rupees, dollars, euros, pounds, and so on. Same way for NFTs, we have Ethereum, Polygon, Solana, which are the digital tokens or digital currencies to own these digital assets. And what are smart contracts and marketplaces? So just like how we have e-commerce platforms like Amazon, Flipkart, or any other e-commerce platform wherein we can purchase it on the products online. These digital 3D assets, we have these marketplaces such as OpenSea, Rarible, Super Rare, and so on. These are like 3D platforms for just like how we have Amazon or Flipkart. For owning this NFT or digital arts, we can use these marketplaces: OpenSea, Rarible, Super Rare, and so on. And how NFTs or non-fungible tokens fit in the metaverse. First thing is digital proof of ownership. For example, we have a company. Just for example, the first company you see, Dolce and Gabbana, they are a apparel company, design apparel company. So you buy a normal designer suit, and the same digital version of the suit you can own it using NFT. Same goes for other brands as well. The last one, A6, this is the shoe brand, wherein the physical version you can own, and the digital asset also you can own. So one other example is this brand can sell only a unique digital asset wherein only few people can buy it. Only 100 people can buy it. Just a quick example. I can be one of the 100 people who owns that digital asset, and I can sell that digital asset to a greater profit after some time. So like this, digital proof of ownership can be done using NFTs in the metaverse. And transfer of value, you can transfer that to other person and sell that digitally as well. And interoperability, so you can operate in the web and as well as in the metaverse as well. So this is how brands are engaging in NFT space. So brands engage their users and bring them closer to the brand. So they are giving NFTs or digital assets so that the customers are more becoming more loyal, or becoming more interested to that particular brand, so that they don't go to the other some of their other competitors brand, and they are financially and emotionally invested to the brand. So and many brands are using NFT as a medium for their marketing campaign. Earlier days, marketing campaign was newspaper based. Then it became telephone based marketing. Then web based, email based marketing. Now it is NFT as a medium for the marketing campaign. And finally, you can sport them on your avatar in the metaverse. Just like I said, if I purchase a shirt, I can buy the digital version of the shirt and add that to my 3D version as well. So that way, you can sport that avatar in the metaverse. So if you want to explore metaverse world, so these are some of the platforms: Decentra World, Sandbox, Roblox, Facebook, Horizon, which has developed by Facebook, are some of the metaverse world we can explore. Decentra World is like just like how we access website. It is fully 3D version of the website where many events are also hosted. If, for example, if any product is launched offline, so how they are launching the product offline, same way they are launching the product in the immersive world in Decentraland, wherein many people can connect and interact them with them immersively. So these are some of the things we can easily explore metaverse world. So Decentraland is one of the better one. Roblox also is one of the better one to explore these immersive metaverse world. Yeah, coming to the augmented reality. So even in augmented reality, we have two things. One is app-based augmented reality, and the next one is web-based augmented reality. For app-based augmented reality, always have to install the application on your mobile to access that web augmented reality experience. But since most of us will not have the patience to install the application on our mobile to experience a augmented reality one, that's why web-based augmented reality gained the prominence, wherein you don't need to install the application, excuse me, just by scanning the QR code or by uh, giving the link on your browser, you'll be able to experience an augmented reality. We'll see web-based augmented reality shortly. Excuse me. Even in web-based augmented reality, there are two things: marker-based and markerless. Marker-based is you'll be able to access only after you scan a particular object, like a QR code or like an image. After you scan something, then that 3D model or the visual element pops up. That is marker-based web-based web augmented reality. Markerless augmented web-based augmented reality is you don't need to scan anything, just by giving that link in the browser, and once you open that link, that augmented reality experience pops up on the screen. So that is markerless. Both marker-based and markerless are used widely uh, by the companies to for the customers to experience this augmented reality thing. And what are some of the popular web AR platforms to develop? Eighth Wall, Zap AR, Easy AR, View AR, Banupa, Blipper, XR Plus are some of the web AR platforms. Of this, Eighth Wall is the most popular one. We do most of our web-based augmented reality projects using Eighth Wall platform. Reason being, it's a subscription-based and it's easy to develop, and the cloud-based editors is there, and wherein you can easily deploy your 3D models and add animations, interactions, or any other use cases to the project easily using Eighth Wall. And Zap AR is also one of the project where you can develop a web-based augmented reality thing. And open source. So what if I don't want any subscription-based one? I can try only with open source one. There's alternative, but open source comes with limitations. Only few options are available, but the subscription based will have a lot of options and flexibilities are there. So open source web ARs are AR.js, model Google Model Viewer, XRJS, 3.ARJS, Mind AR, and these are some of the open source web AR platforms. Of all these open source platforms, Google Model Viewer is the simplest and effective web AR for developing simple web AR application. For what if I want to show a 3D model in augmented reality some with some details that can be shown using Google Model Viewer. And other tools are also there, but Google Model is one of the easiest tools. So we'll quickly see how to do that as well. So this is what is Google Model Viewer. We can easily interact or add the 3D model and publish it, deploy it to the mobile and access it via QR code. So let me, so this is the link, Model Viewer editor. So let me open that link and show it to you. Yeah, I hope the screen is visible. So I have typed this Google Model Viewer link here. So this is how the editor will look. Here they are given drag a GLTF or GLB here. So this GLTF or GLB is the 3D model type. Just like images have different extensions like JPEG, PNG, GIF, and so on. Same way, 3D models have different extensions like GLTB, GLB, GLTF, USDC, FBX, OBJ, STL, and so on. For web-based metaverse applications, GLTF or GLB extension of 3D model only is supported. Okay, I have this editor, but I don't have any 3D model to experience. So what if you want to have a 3D model? So to download a 3D model, there are few websites like I'm just opening the website and sharing it. Sketchfab.com. So this is one of the uh, website where you can download free 3D models as well as premium ones as well. So from here you can easily download any 3D model and show that 3D model. I've already downloaded a uh, 3D model of a brain, so that I will drag and drop here. So Sketchfab is one of the website. So another website is, uh, of course, there are hundreds of 3D assets website, but these are some of the popular ones. Poly.pizza is another website. Poly.pizza is for getting low poly 3D models. Why low poly 3D models? Low poly 3D models comes with reduced file size. So in low poly, polygon count is very less, so that you are able to get the 3D model with the limit very less file size with few MBs only. Whereas in high poly 3D models, 3D models will be very good, but file size will be more like 20 MB, 30 MB or so, which will take time to load. So just for experiencing it or just to learn about it, you can use poly.pizza and you can download any of the 3D models and use it. So I have already have this 3D model of a brain. So that I will drag and drop here and show how to experience it. Just give me a moment. Let me add that 3D model. Just give me a moment. I'm downloading that, checking the where's the 3D model is. Okay, it's that. Okay, let me download some 3D models from here. Okay, this website poly.pizza. I'm searching some example. I'm searching car. Okay, this example of police car. So this example, let me download it. And just clicking download. See here, download OBJ, download GLB. These options are asking. So I'll download as GLB, which is the web supported version. So it is getting downloaded. Yeah. Now it's downloaded to my browser. This policecar.glb. See the file size, it's only 176 KB. Now I am going to the my editor again. Now I'm going to the editor. I'm going to drag and drop the model which I have just downloaded. So I'm just downloading it and dragging and dropping it here. So after I drag and dropped, you can see that model is being loaded here. I'm just rotating it, seeing it using my keyboard. Okay, now what if you want to view this in mobile, view this experience in mobile? So wherein I go here, scroll down and click this deploy mobile option. See here, deploy mobile. Once you click that, this QR code is generated. Once you scan this QR code in your mobile phone and see that particular police car 3D model will be displayed in your real world. So probably any one of you can try this. You can scan this QR code in your mobile device and check the experience and share the result. Yeah, please. Can anyone try this QR code? I'll zoom it a little. Yeah, once you scan it, once you open the mobile phone and scan this QR code, it will ask you to scan the floor. And once you scan the floor, that particular 3D model will appear. And using your fingers, you can rotate, zoom in and zoom out also with that particular 3D model.
Yes, sir, it's working, sir.
Is it working?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So this way you can easily bring up a augment reality to life using Google Model Viewer. It's not only just displaying the model, you can add hotspots and add some information as well. So I'll just share the link if you guys want. I'll just give me a moment. Let me share the link. So this is the link. Yeah, this is the link where you can drag and drop the 3D model. And once you click deploy to mobile, you can just give that QR code to anyone and they can access that 3D model. So this is a sample 3D model we have. If you want to design your own 3D model, you can use tools like Blender, 3D Max, Maya, and so on. And that 3D version, you save it as a GLB or GLTF extension and drag and drop that to the tool. And once you click deploy mobile, that QR code will appear. Then you can share it to view it in AR. Yes, madam. Any questions? Yeah, Dr. Pungode, madam, you raised the hand. Please let me know if you have any question. Yeah, almost come to the end of the session. Please let me know if you have any questions. In tomorrow's sessions, we'll learn more about how to create more options to this web-based AR tool and other tools like ATAL and open source tools like 3JS to create simple virtual reality application and importing 3D model and adding more features to it and how it can be used specifically to healthcare sector. So that we will discuss in detail tomorrow. And today, please let me know if you have any questions on today's session or any other questions related to metaverse. Yeah, the floor is open to questions. Please let me know.
Participants, if you have any question, you can ask.
Yeah, please feel free to ask questions. So let's not have this one way around. So let's have it more interactive.
Sir, I do have a one question.
Yes, sir.
The model that you are importing, that's the static one, I think.
Yes.
So it doesn't have any animation.
Hmm.
So if I do have animation,
Hmm.
and then I if I can import in this web browser that you are suggesting, model
Yes,
viewer.
yes, sir. Very good question, sir. Model Viewer mostly supports web static versions of the model only, sir. We do if you go and explore this model viewer website, they have some animated 3D models to support, but mostly for static version or showing some static version of 3D models only, Google Model Viewer can be used. If you want to show animated versions, there are other tools like 3JS, MindAR, and other tools that we can use it. But for static version, you can use this tool.
Okay, sir. Fine, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Any more questions, please?
Sir, if we want to create our own 3D,
hmm
then how many images do we have to give, or how does that work, sir?
Now, how many? If you want to create a separate 3D model or any 3D environment, you can use tools like Blender, madam, to create. It does not depend upon the image, but it's depend on the 3D environment you are going to design. For example, if you want to create an environment of a room, that is not going to take much time. You can add some few cubes and convert that into a box, add some textures, and look like a room. But if you want to create a model like a car or any other complex 3D model, you have to
Mm-hmm.
draw just like you use pen tool in Photoshop. You have to draw all these things in create a block and convert that into a car or any other shape using a 3D design tool. It's not about images, it's about what exactly you want to make it into a 3D version.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Yes, sir, I'll share this presentation definitely.
I think there is no more questions. Shall I wind up, sir?
Yeah, yes, madam. If there are no more questions, please.
Hello, sir. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sir, after scanning the QR code, it is asking me to download the Google AR core.
Hmm. That means
And
your
that is
yeah, yes, madam. That is possible because your mobile phone is not supported with Google AR Core feature. So your mobile phone would have been using a older version of Google OS. So that could be the issue.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
Can you please suggest me, sir, the mobile which is good enough for the Google AR
yeah,
and
yeah. I'll share the list,
minimum
madam.
cost?
Sure, sure. I'll share the list, madam. But even if you go to that Google Model Viewer website, they have this supported device features, so that you can easily check, madam.
Yes. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, madam.
Sir, you have some queries in the chat box, sir.
Yeah, let me check, madam. Want to generate some animation related to engineering mechanism. Which software is suitable? Yeah, there are two things, sir. One is designing and development. For designing, you need probably if what exactly you need to develop for engineering mechanics. Do you have any? Is it a basic engine or 3D engine or a specific thing you want to design, sir? Vikram, sir. Like physics based model, yeah, physics based model, if it is available on the internet like in Sketchfab or any other 3D site, you can download that model, and then you can go for model viewer for basic, showing the basic version of augmented reality one. And if you want to have more options, like if you want to add animation or any other use cases, you can have 8 wall or completely open source one, you can have 3JS or any other software. So these two things, Blender for 3D designing and 3JS for development. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, sir. So tomorrow we'll see in detail how to use 3JS specifically. Yeah, 3JS is used widely for developing web-based virtual reality and augmented reality applications. So that you'll see in detail in tomorrow's session.
So, dear professors, the feedback link is available in your chat box. So, kindly fill the feedback within 10 minutes. Satish Sudha, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, shall we wind up, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your informative session, sir.
Thank you. Thanks again for giving this opportunity, and thanks for making this session more interactive. Looking forward for tomorrow's session. Thank you all. Bye.
Okay, sir,
Thank
we
you,
are
sir.
waiting for your next session, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, thank
All
you,
the
sir.
participants can take a 5 minutes break and they can join sharply at 8 o'clock. The next resource person will be available at 8 o'clock.